What is up, guys? This is the Gothic Kitten, and today we're continuing our Gothic 2 Let's Play. Now, last time I said we're gonna find an unauthorized way to get into the town. Now, I could go all the way around, but that makes it even more dangerous, so I'm just gonna try to kinda scooch. Aye, that doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna have to find a different way. Let me think. Is there anywhere where it's not as high? Probably not. What if I try to jump on that wall? Nope, that also does not work. Guess we're gonna have to go around. I was kind of trying to avoid that. It means running for our lives even more. Now when I'm playing this on my own, I have like 1,000 times to redo this until it actually works, like you kind of slip off the side. But I guess it's not happening right now. Let's see. So if you continue the path down, see how it already becomes lower? The issue is there's a bunch of evil creatures down there that I was hoping to avoid. Okay. Maybe we still avoided a few of them. So we're gonna try to stick with the edge. We're gonna do the same all the way in the back while we're at it, but there's wolves, black goblins, blood flies. I'm gonna see if I can avoid the black goblins because they're faster than the other things that can threaten me. One of which you just heard. So I'm gonna keep on running, hoping for the best. That's a good sound. That is a good sound, I think. Not really. Oh, these are bad sounds. Okay. So where we gotta get up is over here. And then up here. Okay, we got this far. It's a great start. So now we're gonna pass these edges. Now you have to be a little bit careful. He was still following us over on this end because you kind of have to jump from one of these ledge thingies. I don't know if you guys could see that proper. Like the angle that the graphics are in. You have to hop from one to another in an attempt to not fall down. Now there is a way, I think it's sneaking, that prevents you from actually falling down. But okay, let's see if we can look down a little bit. We're gonna save here again. This involves a lot of saving. And then maybe potentially, nope. Okay, yeah, we made it. So it's a bit of a trial and error kind of thing. But we made it nonetheless. So technically we are inside the walls of Corinus right now. We're also finding some goods. We saw some fish. I'm not going to loot too much because we're just going to do this zone later. I just don't want to skip out on the 500 extra XP we can get with Lares. Now walking out of the town you can just do. It's that easy. But I'm just not sure if I can take this path straight to him, or if we actually have to be in the water. That might be a thing, but we swim quite slow, so I'm trying to avoid most of the swimming. Gaper clam. Can we pick this up? Maybe if we're not stuck. Now don't swim too deep into the water. If you do so, I think something happens. We'll try it out later. So as you guys can see, it's a harbor town. And there's fish in the water. It's great. I could have edited me falling to my death out, but you guys need to understand how difficult it is. Okay.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here? That's one way to get past the guards at the city gate.
Hey Lares, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
I must talk to the paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure, if you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Now, I don't know at all which path I'm gonna take in this one. So, if there are any requests, by all means, make them.
That's been known a long time.
Like, we'll see when we go, how or what, but if anybody has a preference, then they can always mention it and we will see what we can do.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Okay. We do not want to go with him yet at all. We still have this whole zone over here and this whole town to explore.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
We would love that. We would love 10 dexterity, please.
Teach me something.
I'm not telling you anything new.
So as you can see, it's 1 learning point per dexterity. But starting from a certain
You've
point,
already
it goes
gotten
up.
more dexterous.
And I think that certain point is 25. Now there are still some other people that I would like to avoid. Like the dude that was standing over there.
He knew better. That's exactly what I said.
Other than that, I think you're pretty safe. I don't think other people really address you yet. He
Hey,
does.
you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right? Here. We found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Well, no, we don't wanna mess with the militia.
No, you've got to be mistaken. Everything's fine with me.
Whatever you say, stranger. But if that happens to be your mug after all, and if you have some problems, keep them outside of this town. Things are difficult enough here as it is. And strangers who bring trouble into the city don't stay here long. I hope I make myself clear.
Very clear, sir.
That's been known a long time.
It's not really good advertising saying your city has, issues. Okay, avoid the dude in the big shiny armor. And then walk behind this. Now, this seems like a lot of trouble for 500 XP, but especially in the beginning of the game, that's quite a lot. So now we go in the authorized way.
What is it?
You aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, you're sure to cause nothing but trouble here, boy. And we got enough rabble in the city. We have no use for people without money.
Let's not say that. We could use the pass, but we're not gonna. We're gonna say the herbs explanation.
I'm bringing some herbs for Constantino, the alchemist.
Really? Then you won't mind showing me what you brought. Looks good. All right, in you go. But don't cause any trouble. Understood?
Okay, so that worked.
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
But he knew that all along.
Troubling. Okay.
I have an important message for the leader of the paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
I'm not telling you anything.
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The Sacred Eye of Innos?
I've heard of it.
How do you know about that? You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our order to you, but he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it.
Actually, that's literally what he said. Get your fingers on it.
The townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town, understood?
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Let's just go for it.
listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons, I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent them to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport.
Do you really believe
So
that?
mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
Because there's already enough
Nobody
panic.
will learn anything from
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes.
Quite obvious.
The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
That's all just gossip.
Okay, explain the rules to the city.
Everything you hear.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops.
That's not what I heard.
That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third,
Nothing you can do about
whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
In case you guys hear it, I'm sorry, but our dog is tiptoeing around like a little deer and jumping up and down, so that is any background
What I
sounds.
heard.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Corinus. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
Only wait and see.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia. You're not even a citizen. How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
Sir, do you understand who you're talking to? You are speaking to the unknown hero, defeater of the sleeper, destroyer of the barrier. Those are probably not things that give me good credit here, but still.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
That's the first I've heard of it.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
I never knew that.
Yes, sir.
It can't go on like this forever.
Okay, let's see if we collected quests. And if we did, we have. Okay, the Eye of Inos. There's a group of paladins camping out in the city of Corinus. They have a powerful artifact with them, the Eye of Inos. Its power should help us fend off the dragon threat. I'm going to have to persuade the paladins to rally our cause. Yeah, not gonna happen. The Ring of Water. Cavalorn told me that he belongs to a community that calls itself the Ring of Water. Vatras, the Water Mage, can tell me more about the Ring of Water. Okay, so that seems like one we can do. Some bandits are after me. They've got a wanted note. I wonder what's behind it all. The bandits' leader is Dexter. He's hiding out in a mine near the landowners. So that's not for any time soon. That doesn't say anything. Man with the eye patch. The strange fellow with the eye patch wants to get into the harbor city. I'm supposed to find a way for him to get past the city guards, which we did. I gave him some farmer's clothes. He can get past the city guards with those. Many citizens of Corinus are missing. Nobody seems to know what became of them. Okay, fair enough. So what we can do now is talk to Vatras, which I know where to find.
Nobody ever asked for money.
I don't know if this is the way to go, but it's the fastest way that I know of. This Vatras.
Adanas be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanas, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Now, this feels very tactical, especially with Knight of the Raven, that this is a water mage that we don't know from inside the barrier. Because last time we checked, they got really, really angry with us.
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
That's great.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
I want to join as much as I can, because that's more quests and more XP.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Okay, fine.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the paladins.
What is this message?
We're gonna be honest with him.
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Well, let's just hope you don't tell the paladin about this. FYI, don't tell him.
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the paladins.
The necromancer? So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
But I gave you the letter.
I have vanquished the sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that, the great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Corinus these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
Well, all I can say is oops.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Corinus is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However...
Yes?
You should take your message to the paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Lares, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the city militia, the monastery of the fire magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Lares can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that. About those missing people.
Yes?
Where should I start looking for them?
Most of those people disappeared down by the harbor, That's probably where you should start your search.
I was thinking they're missing people. A stupid question to ask where you can find them, but still.
Let me tell you what I know.
What have you found out?
Nothing important so far.
Okay, fair enough though.
Tell me about the gods.
What exactly would you like to know?
Tell me about Beliar.
Beliar is the dark god of death, destruction, and all things unnatural. He is in eternal battle with Innos, but Adanos guards the balance between the two. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar. However, he grants great strength to those who do.
Tell me about Adanos.
Adanos is the god of the center. He is the scales of justice and guardian of the balance between Innos and Beliar. He commands the power of change. His gift is the water in all the oceans, rivers, and lakes. His priests are the water mages, just as I am a servant and priest of Adanos.
Okay.
Tell me about Innos.
Very well. Innos is the first and highest god. He created the sun and the world. He commands light and fire, his gifts to humanity. He is law and justice. His priests are the magicians of fire. The paladins are his warriors.
Can you heal me?
Adanos, bless this body. Free it of its wounds and strengthen it with new life.
Now we could make a donation, but I don't feel inclined to do so
Wait,
yet.
if you see Lares, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
Okay. So basically, we've learned a lot of stuff, including that we should become a valued citizen of the town. And then he said something about work. So clearly this is the district where people work, and we will look for work here. But before we do that, I'm going to try and show you guys another loophole you can do, which is getting an armor, because we're still walking around in whatever this is. Now again, just like the other thing, it's not super easy. That one's smooth. Now the difficult part is, first of all, not falling off, I guess, is getting on the roof of this building. So we can get on that wall over there. Then he actually has to do it. Which, as you guys can see, is not as easy. But we could really do with an armor. There's probably little secrets on how to do this, but... Or like different methods. I've seen people put the guy to sleep that's guarding that place. And then use a forget scroll or something, maybe? I don't know. I've seen a lot of things, but... This is usually what I do. You need that certain type of momentum and then just be lucky with the angle, I guess. Oh, so close. I guess keep running is one of the better methods. I wish I could tell you guys like the exact secret on how to do this, but there we go. Hope you guys saw that. Okay. And then we get down here. Now there should be a way for me to sneak. Okay, there we go. Guess it's X by default. Now let's see, a chest. And this is a leather armor, 25 weapon protection, 20 arrow protection, and 5 fire protection, which is, I think, pretty much one of the better ones you can find while you're still, you know, undecided on what faction you're gonna join. And then a bunch of citizens' clothing, some salami, and some lap water bottles. Nice. We're still poor, so anything that will help us is good. Now, I always found it a good method to escape through one of these crates. Gives you the option to get on this wall, and we can jump back over there. Let's get dressed, people. There we go, much better. We look like a hunter now. We could totally get a job now. Let's just start talking to people, I guess.
That's really not my problem.
Citizen Rupert.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
I'm not touching that.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
Enough trouble as it is.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
That's all just
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
I knew that would be a problem.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony. And their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Show me your wares.
But he knew that all along.
Okay, let's see. Apple. Actually, I want all the apples, but let's keep a hold of our money for now. Well, we can get rid of this now. I'm sorry, Kavlorn. We need arrows. Do you have arrows? No, you don't. Okay, the citizens' clothing. We stole it just to sell it, because we don't need it. Can we sell like one of something? Because I thought I pressed... Oh yeah, we can. Okay. Give you some plans, sir. I hope you enjoy them. And then our litter bags. We have quite a lot of money right now, actually. Maybe we can find a better bow. Okay, so he said that his boss was right here.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Now, a little fun fact. The armor we just stole is the armor he's trying to sell us, so we don't need it anymore. Else we're down 250 gold, which I guess we could have paid for it, but we're also poor, so you know, recession and all.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladin seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
I'm so sorry, sir, but we already took everything.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
Yeah, we've noticed that with Paladin.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
You shark.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But...
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
He's basically looking for a ruffian.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Okay.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
The guy that we saw outside, I guess?
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bospa the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Corinus.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance, so behave yourself.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, there's no point in asking this because we haven't done what he asked of us yet.
Show me your wares.
You have some arrows. We are taking those. Thank you. Because as I said in the Gothic 1 playthrough, I am probably gonna wing a dexterity build. Let's see. We already read this one, so now I'm gonna do that again. So then he said Bosper across the street has some issues.
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Bosper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Corinus?
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well...
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Be like, well, I read all the books at Sardis' tower. That should give me some cred.
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Herod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well, too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Not to mention, we have matching outfits.
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
Let's see. Show me what you
Show
got.
me your wares.
Look at these beauties. A willow bow, but I'm kind of intrigued with the hunting bow. I think we're gonna try and get that one. And then a ring of dexterity. Oh, look at this. A leather belt. First of all, take all the arrows. And we still have enough money for this then. So let's just, well, I like my strength belt too. We'll think about it. We'll just think about it. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's the middle of the night too. I should probably go sleep somewhere. Oh, no, you're still
Ah, fresh face. You're not from Corinus, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere. No work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
Am I the only one seeing that there's light burning in the tower there? It was kind of distracting me.
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
Recession, people.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing, too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Okay.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break, and there are plenty of thieves about in Corinus, especially lately.
Swear it's not our fault.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of those layabouts who only come to town to empty the chests of honest people. I'm not going to teach you anything before I'm convinced that you're an honest fellow.
Well, how about selling me locks?
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
You don't know me. Let's take them all.
Have you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elvrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for work.
Where is Elvrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel by the harbor. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
How long has it been since you saw him?
I guess it must be about 2 weeks.
Have you reported that to the militia?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him and see to it that the lazy bones does his work, but I already regret that. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll realize he'll get nowhere in Corinus without a decent job.
Is that so?
What do you know about the paladins?
Not much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs. I suppose, however, that they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Sounds fair enough.
Do you know anything about the peasants' rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
Okay.
I've come about Gritta.
My niece? What's your business with her? This isn't about money, is it?
She owes 100 gold pieces to the merchant Matteo.
Tell me this isn't true. Ever since that little piece of work moved in with me, I've had nothing but trouble. She's in debt with practically every single merchant in town. I had to borrow 200 gold pieces from Lamar, the moneylender, just to settle her debts. And now this. Go ahead, ask her. But I tell you this, she doesn't have a single gold piece.
We shall see.
Yeah, let's see. So she's supposed to be in here somewhere. Bookstand.
What's
oh,
the
this
matter?
Is a new one. Let's see. Every beast or creature has certain trophies that improve the wealth and glory of experienced hunters. Fire lizard. This beast is a lizard, but it can spit fire that will kill anyone venturing within a few paces of it. Only those who have protection from fire can fight these beasts and take their valued tongues. The Shadow Beast. The Shadow Beast isn't... Are we sure we haven't read this yet? The Shadow Beast is an ancient loner and lives hidden in the woods. There are very few of these creatures left, therefore they are no danger to humans unless they venture into their hunting grounds. The horn on a Shadow Beast's head is regarded as a valuable hunting trophy. A hunter must learn how to remove it properly in order to claim his prize. I don't know if we did, because this time Shadow Beast is written correctly. So I think it's different.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Gritta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
Matteo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos, the fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such...
Okay, lady, we're over it.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
Then we'll simply sell a few of your togs. I'm sure you've still got a bunch of stuff in your closet.
How dare you, uncouth lout. All right, here, take the gold.
See, that wasn't so hard.
And now will you please leave my house?
Pretty sure it's not your house, it's Harold's house, but sure. Oh.
Wait a minute.
No, Torben. It's Torben's house.
Your niece had 100 gold pieces.
What? The brazen little serpent. That was my gold. She took it from my chest. Give it back to me. I have to pay off Lamar first. Mateo can get his money later.
Here's your gold.
Thanks. Now I have at least part of the money I owe Lamar. I can't believe she had the audacity to take my gold.
Well, I believe she has the audacity to do a lot of things.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
You have brought me the 100 gold pieces. That is very decent of you. I am almost embarrassed, but I must ask even more of you. If I cannot pay back my debt to Lamar soon, he's going to send his thugs after me. Give me another 100 gold pieces, and I shall instruct you.
Fine. Here are 100 gold pieces.
In that case, we can start whenever you're ready.
You're ready, I think.
Teach me how to pick a lock.
No, we're not.
Come back
Okay,
once you
fair
have
enough.
more experience.
So now we can go and give Mateo his gold back. And I'm kind of thinking, do I need to learn how to skin animals from Bosper? We're gonna go check that as well. Oh, he's sleeping. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you want your gold.
Damn it. What's up?
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
Counting isn't your strong suit, is it? You don't have 100 gold
Oh,
pieces.
what? Really? Okay, give me a second then. How did that happen? I thought I had like 200 and something. Okay, fine. There we go.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
And? Did she cause any problems?
None to speak of.
Good. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
Okay, perfect. So now we go back to Bosper to see what's going on over there. We have 5 learning points, right? Yes, we do. So if he needs 5 learning points, why is lockpicking 10? That's not fair. Oh, he's also in bed. I'm so sorry.
What's the
At least
matter?
he has a wife.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
Well, no, this seems right up my alley.
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
That is actually pretty accurate on how to skin an animal. Now I think we've done enough for today. It's a bit longer of an episode, and the reason why is because, in case you have not read it in my community tab yet, is because I am going to be posting a little bit less due to work starting again. I've been on a holiday recently, and then it was manageable to bring out a video every day, but now it's going to be harder with work and then taking care of our family, and so we will be posting Gothic on Tuesday and on Saturdays, and we will be posting the Outer Worlds on Thursdays and on Sundays, and then whatever comes after that will probably be the same days divided. We will see how that goes. So I hope you guys had a great time, and I will see you next time on the Scratching Post.